The big picture is always what we're thinking about. We're not thinking about this game at Jacksonville. We're thinking about our entire football team. We're talking about the whole season. He wanted to make sure that he finished with his teammates. Again, we were aligned the whole way, and moving forward, we're going to keep Justin at the front of all the decisions that we make.
There's something I noticed on Sunday that drove me absolutely insane. And bear in mind, I've been rooting for this team to succeed all off season long. And I actually felt like they had all the tools to succeed all off season long. But if last season was any indication for you guys, whenever I see mismanagement going down, I like to call it out. Mainly because I don't want to see really talented players have their careers sabotaged by ineptitude and mismanagement of their careers. I guess I'm just traumatized as a result of what happened to Andrew Luck. So before we get to the content, man, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. I also recently made an announcement on my Twitter account in regards to a series that was very well received on this channel. So if you want to see what's going on behind the scenes, make sure you follow me on Twitter. Now that we get all of that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Going into this season, the entire AFC West generated a tremendous amount of hype. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs did take a step back in regards to talent, but they're the Kansas City Chiefs, so you're not necessarily worried about them, especially when you have number 15 under center, and for the most part, the same core pieces are in place, like Travis Kelce, and on the defensive end, Chris Jones. Although Chris Jones hasn't been having the greatest season so far, the Kansas City Chiefs decided to trade Tyreek Hill and in return get some additional defensive depth, which I was a huge fan of because I feel like Patrick Mahomes has enough control over the offense that fortifying his defense would be significantly more beneficial than just giving him better offensive weapons, which he already has the capability of putting points up on the board. Then you have the Denver Broncos, which if you want a separate video on the Denver Broncos, let me know. I don't know if it's too soon to make a video on them yet, but let me know in the comment section if that's something you'd be interested in. Who went ahead and traded for Russell Wilson? They hired Nathaniel Hackett. There was a tremendous amount of buzz about the Denver Broncos going into the season as well. Then you have the Las Vegas Raiders, who went out and hired Josh McDaniels and traded for Devontae Adams and signed Chandler Jones and traded Yannick Ngakoue for, to be honest, pennies on the dollar, who were also going into the season with a tremendous amount of hype. That's before we get to the LA Chargers, who responded to these decisions in a remarkable way. Obviously, the Chargers are in a similar situation as the Eagles were in and as the Dolphins were in. They have a remarkable QB that we all consider to be more talented than the Miami Dolphins QB and the Philadelphia Eagles QB in Justin Herbert. So they decided, hey, Justin Herbert has some great offensive weapons. He has a remarkable offensive line. He has Austin Eckler. He has Mike Williams. He has Keenan Allen. Let's focus on giving this man a nice little defense, shall we? So they went ahead and traded for Khalil Mack. They signed JC Jackson. They added Sebastian Joseph Day. And that's just the very beginning of what this team did to give Justin Herbert and Brandon Staley a remarkable defense. And it seems like, I know this is going to be a shocker to a lot of fans here, I'm more concerned about the Chargers than I am the Las Vegas Raiders or even the Denver Broncos. Yeah, the Denver Broncos offense has been anemic so far, but that's a brand new quarterback working with a brand new head coach and a brand new team. And to be honest, I don't think Nathaniel Hackett did the greatest job assembling a coaching staff for himself, because he should have hired some former head coaches to really guide him along this new journey of becoming a head coach in the NFL. And he's made some rookie mistakes that have been apparent to all of us as a result of that. In the Las Vegas Raiders situation, you could say the same thing. Brand new star wide receiver, brand new head coach, still taking time to figure things out. I think Derek Carr actually missed some throws yesterday, and that also didn't help some things, but I still understand the fact that they got off to a bad start. In the Los Angeles Chargers case, there's multiple issues currently. They boasted one of the best defenses that we saw in the offseason. They added JC Jackson and Khalil Mack and added that to a team that already featured Derwin James and Joey Bosa and Nasir Adderley and some pretty underrated cornerbacks as well. Now, so far, JC Jackson hasn't played very much and he is coming off of an injury, but you have to admit there's multiple things about the Los Angeles Chargers that is concerning me at this point. Now, this is no offense to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who absolutely crushed the Los Angeles Chargers this past weekend, but if you pay attention to a few key things, you'd understand why there's so much concern in regards to the Chargers. First things first is the fact that Justin Herbert has a rib injury that seems to be a very sketchy injury in regards to his timetable for recovery. According to Chris Mortensen, the rib cartilage injury can last several weeks or several months, and a rib protector can't help with rotation when Herbert twists and throws. And he freaking plays football. There were multiple points yesterday where you saw Justin Herbert literally grimace in the face when he got hit. And here's the scariest part. Justin Herbert's best offensive lineman, Rashawn Slater, an absolute stud of a left tackle, is set to miss the rest of the season with a biceps injury. So this is not a good combination, and I really don't understand this one thing. You have Justin Herbert, who struggled to play yesterday against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who seem to have a very underrated defense. You got to give credit where credit's due. And here's what bothered me the most. Despite Justin Herbert getting absolutely blown out by the Jacksonville Jaguars, there was never a point where his head coach, Brandon Staley, looked at Justin Herbert and said, yo, dude, you're a franchise QB. There's a Super Bowl window open with you, and we could still potentially turn our season around. We need you to step back, relax, rest up, make sure your ribs don't get any worse than they are, and pull Justin Herbert out of the game, especially if you're getting demolished by another team. There's no point in keeping Justin Herbert in during garbage time. Now, what Brendan Staley said is that Justin Herbert wanted to be out there with his teammates.
I understand your entire line of questioning. I understand it. Justin's going to be feeling like this when he's out there playing. This injury is going to be there for a while. If you guys know the injury, it's not like it's going to feel better next week or the week after that. This thing is going to be present for a while. He felt good today, and we're going to continue to manage it the best we can.
Justin Herbert said that he didn't want to quit on the team. But here's the thing, when you're a head coach, and you have to admit, Brandon Staley's entire coaching career is directly tied to Justin Herbert. And when you're seeing Justin Herbert dealing with a rib injury, yeah, of course, a rib cartilage injury could last weeks or it could last months. But regardless, taking a couple weeks off and putting in a fairly reliable game manager in Chase Daniel isn't the worst idea, especially when your blindside protector is now out for the rest of the season with an injury. So it seems like nothing is going well for the Los Angeles Chargers at this point. I mean, you had Joey Bosa out with an injury. You have Keenan Allen out with an injury. You have Rashawn Slater out with an injury. JC Jackson is still recovering from an injury. Your star QB has an injury, and it seems like your head coach doesn't have the stones to step up and say, yo, you're our future, and we're not about to sabotage your career the same way we saw Andrew Luck's career get sabotaged, although it wasn't in the same way. And Andrew Luck wasn't being defined and insisting on staying in games despite being injured. We aren't going to let you sabotage your career just for this upcoming season. So that is why out of every single team that is currently in the AFC West, I'd have to say that I'm the most concerned about the LA Chargers. They're in a very tough spot. I don't know if they're managing this correctly. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this, man. If you're an LA Chargers fan, do you feel good about the way this is happening? Are you optimistic about this season? How would you handle this situation with Justin Herbert and managing the team? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.